Hey everybody, George Gonzalez, Sold Seven More here. It's been a while. I had this thought about a video yesterday, last night, and it was to kind of elaborate on the importance of the communication between agents. Every transaction is different, and so and you learn from them. So I figured that I should make some content, so that new agents can have an idea of how to deal with different situations. This particular transaction, I'm the listing agent on a property where I got into contract with a much older gentleman. He's been in the business for more than 30 years, according to him. He's got age for sure. He's got the time. It shows. However, for the beginning process, we were able to negotiate. They gave me an offer, I think at 735. I countered them at 755, and then we came down to 750, and then we signed. We were in contract at that price, and so he has their buyer. The buyer had a co-signer, and then a week later, they asked to remove the co-signer. I'm not sure why or what. I didn't ask. I said, well, as long as they qualify. And then it was really quiet for about 2 weeks. I would call him, and every time I would talk to him, he would just give me a completely different conversation. So I would talk to him about one scenario, and he would ask me about disclosures or something to just kind of, I don't know why, to throw me off or what it was. So, anyways, we had a hard time dealing with him. I couldn't understand him most of the time because he wasn't very clear. He wouldn't answer my questions. So I tried to reach out to the loan officer. The loan officer at that point, he tells me he didn't know who I was, which is a little upsetting, a little frustrating. You give me a pre-approval for your client, I tell you the address and the name, and you don't know who I am, or you just don't care. And so that already turned me off of him because it's a business call. I was in a sale. It was in a sales call, it was a business call, and I told him what I was calling about. He said he would get back to me today. We're almost at the end of the transaction. He's never called me back. Finally, I have my title officer get a hold of their processor, and the processor as well. We put a lot of pressure on her because she's the only contact that we had that we could get answers from. And I could tell she's getting frustrated with my emails, but I said, hey, listen, I know you're just a processor, but send me the loan officer or send the buyer's agent, send him with the information equipped to solve these issues because we are selling this property to move to our next property and missed out on a couple opportunities to put an offer in because our contingencies kept getting extended, and to this day we have not removed contingencies, and so they just keep taking forever. But now I'm just invested too much days in this transaction, and now with the shift of the market, I think that I would be expecting offers about 25K less. So I'm really stuck with having to solve, all the issues on my own with the title officer. We do have a solar panels that are leased there, and so solar panels are really difficult um, to expedite sometimes. But thank God my loan officer Marisela has been able to transfer everything and get everything in order, and actually reached out to the buyers directly after a while to get things signed and moving forward. One big thing that is a big obstacle is this agent doesn't use DocuSign. He doesn't use a fast scanner. It looks like everything he sends me is page by page, and it's always sideways. And so that really frustrates me because I'm trying to go through the documents on my phone um, whenever I'm in the car, which is 90% of the time, and then I have to flip it over or wait till I get somewhere to see what's going on. Um, a couple of things that he's kind of pushed onto my plate now that he has his documents entitled and they signed off yesterday. Now you'll be surprised that he calls me every 2 or 3 hours expecting this and expecting me to do this and that for him. And so yesterday I had a conversation with him when he was basically telling me to write up a rent back and whatnot. And so I told him, listen, I said, I'm more than happy to write up the rent back, but I'm going to write it to my convenience because if I'm writing it, then I'm going to make it super smooth for my client. I'm going to give us 30 days rent back for free, and I'm going to give you guys $1,000 for a deposit. He didn't like that. He emailed me right away after the phone call. He says, George, I want you to write this, and that. And I emailed him back. I said, you're welcome to write whatever you want. If you want me to write it, I'm going to write it my way. So couple hours later, he calls me about the home warranty. The home warranty has already been ordered, but he wants me to upgrade it. But yet in the contract, he didn't state the amount for the upgrade or what to upgrade. So basically, he wants me to do his job. After, mind you, the almost 3 weeks that we didn't have any communication, he didn't have any answers. As soon as he gets docs, now he's walking around telling me how to do my part. So what I did was I was very specific with him, and I said the home warranty has been ordered according to the budget that was given that you put on the contract. The rent back has been drawn up, whether your client signs it or not. Um, it's already on I think page 2 of our contract, the to rent back, anyways. So I don't know where the I don't understand how he comes up with the now that he is in a position where he has answers. Now he's telling me what to do. And so, what I guess what the learning experience is here next time, obviously you always want to qualify the buyers and the price, but you have to qualify the agent too. Would I take another offer from this gentleman? Probably not, especially if it's dollars away from a different offer with a not more experience, with a better agent. I'll call it a better agent who's responsive and who's honest. Then I would probably tell my client, yes, I'm going to present it, but I'm going to say my opinion of this agent is that he's going to have us nervous for 2 weeks without any phone calls, and that's going to stress us out because we have to be in a position to buy our next property, and we need the funds from this deal. So I guess the lack of communication, whether it's good news or bad news, it's not personal, it's business, and I think a lot of times either it's ego of the agent or lack of experience or the way you were trained to not take responsibility and give us the good news and the bad news. Sometimes things don't work out. There's always going to be issues. That's normal, but not answering the phone and not giving us clear answers, that's the obstacle that needs to be eliminated in this business. In my opinion, because a lot of emotion is involved with selling a property, especially when you're going to move your family, like we have my client, his family out of the city into a new city and having to sell this house to go forward. So, I guess I hope these pointers help is to kind of qualify the agent to make sure that if you could already tell in the beginning that they're not too familiar with how things work, no matter how long they've been here, it doesn't matter. There's guys that have been working in the county offices, they've been milking the clock and showing up late for decades, and they're still there. It doesn't mean that they're good employees. So anyways, that's my opinion on this transaction. And again, my apologies for not having more content up. I've just been really busy. Like everybody says, I've been busy. I don't have time. But honestly, I've been getting home at 9 o'clock, and I got two ADUs from the ground up. I'm building. I have the rehab project that I'm building out here in San Jose, Willow Glen area, and a couple other remodels. So I just haven't had the peace of mind or the phone not ring. So, anyways. George Gonzalez, Soul 7 More. If you have any other questions for me, shoot me a message, leave me a comment, however that works, or follow me on Instagram and keep up with the content there. So, George Gonzalez, Soul 7 More. I'll see you guys soon. Have a good one.